Kara and John race to stop the pod from injuring innocent people. While investigating it, she finds a Daxamite Monel in a coma. They bring him to the new DEO headquarters to find out more about him. Back at Catco, Kara tells Kat that she wants to do another job. Kara prepares for a date with Jimmy when the space shuttle from the Venturia launch day event malfunctions. Clark and Kara team up to stop the shuttle from crashing, saving people on board. Kara brings Clark back to the DEO to meet everyone and to see if he can help find out more about Monel. They decide that Clark stick around until they get some answers. While at Catco, Alex calls Kara and gives her a lead involving Lena Luthor. John Corbin gets his hands on military-grade equipment to use against the last children of Krypton. Clark and Kara meet with Lena at LexCorp to get more information about her involvement with the crash. Alex confronts John about his bad blood with Clark, asking him about Operation Emerald. Wynn shows up and tells him that Lena was actually a target for whomever sabotaged the plane. Clark and Kara show up in time to save Lena from another attack. Clark destroys the drones scattered throughout the city, while Kara saves Lena. All the distractions in Kara's civilian life and as Supergirl causes a strain in her relationship with Jimmy. Back at Catco, Kat helps Kara make an important choice in really doing something with her life. The team moves to find John Corbin and to protect Lena from another attack. As Lena's giving a speech at LexCorp, the building explodes and Corbin tries to kill her. Alex stops him and battles him, while Kara and Clark stop LexCorp from collapsing. Corbin gains the upper hand but is shot from behind by Lena. Lena thanks Clark for writing a piece on Corbin and invites Kara to stop by again. Kara tells Kat that she wants to be a reporter, to which Kat agrees to. Kara then talks to Jimmy and tells him that she would rather have him as a best friend while she tries to figure out how to be herself and Supergirl. Wynn is made a full-time member of the DEO, while Clark decides to stick around a little longer. This is the Supergirl we deserve. Will we see a team-up between Superman, Supergirl, and Martian Manhunter? Does Monel have connections to the Dominators who are set to be the catalyst for the four-way crossover between Supergirl, The Flash, Arrow, and Legends? All aboard the hype train! Up, up, and away! Find out on the next episode of Supergirl! Somebody save me! Clark and Kara continue to fight crime together in National City. The team thinks that she's spending too much time with him, which causes a bit of a rift between Kara and them. At Kara's apartment, Clark tells her that he needs to return to Metropolis. They decide to go on one last team up and find John Corbin, who now goes by Metallo. He nearly kills Kara and Clark using a kryptonite chess piece, which can fire energy blasts. Clark gets the upper hand of Metallo, and he takes a critically injured Kara back to the DEO. Once there, Clark confronts John on how Metallo had gotten kryptonite. He and Alex reveal that a shipment was stolen from them, but they have no idea where it went or who is behind it. Back at Cadmus, Metallo is given upgrades so that he can go up against Kara and Clark again. At the Daily Planet, Kat introduces Kara to Snapper Carr, who is her new boss. Snapper quickly berates Kara and makes her question her being a reporter. Clark and John go to the Fortress of Solitude to talk about the common interest in protecting Kara. Kelix appears and tells them that the metal taken from Metallo is promethium. Back at her apartment, Kara tells Alex that she may want to move to Metropolis, upsetting Alex. Kara and Clark then confront Metallo at the Industrial District, but it turns out to be a setup. Metallo reveals that another man with abilities like him is in Metropolis. Kara and Clark rush to get there, with Kara promising to return to stop Metallo. Clark and Kara arrive too late and Metropolis is left in ruin. Alex and Wynn find out a way to figure out who is responsible for taking the kryptonite, and Alex follows fellow agent McGill, who leads them to the Cadmus headquarters. She is ambushed by Cadmus agents and the head doctor who reveals her father is alive. They offer her a chance to live in exchange for her working for them. She refuses and they attempt to kill her. Alex puts up a fight long enough for Kara to show up. Back at the DEO, Wynn outfits Kara and Clark with protective chess piece to help them combat Metallo. Despite this, the cousins are overwhelmed and are nearly killed again. John arrives to aid Clark, fighting the other enhanced being, while Alex helps Kara fight Metallo. The team comes out victorious, and Kara tells Cadmus she is coming for them. Kara then visits Kat as Supergirl to say her last goodbyes. Jimmy tells Kara that Kat gave him her job as well. She then meets with Snapper and gives him a story on the Metallo attacks. John lets Clark take the remaining pieces of kryptonite to stow away. He then says his last goodbyes to his cousin and the rest of the team before heading back to Metropolis. Kara talks to Monel, who suddenly awakens and attacks her. With Monel awake, will we finally find out why he came to Earth in the first place? Is he the tie-in to the Dominators for the four-way crossover between Supergirl, The Flash, Arrow, and Legends? When will Superman and Supergirl team up again? When will Martian Manhunter and Superman team up again? Will Wynn finally get out in the field? When will the Legion appear? And Jeremiah is alive! Oh my! When will he come back? Find out on the next episode of Supergirl! Somebody save me! Monel awakens and attacks Kara before escaping the DEO. John worries that his escape will be a problem since the president will be arriving in National City to meet Supergirl. During her arrival, an unseen assailant attacks her, but she is saved by Kara. Kara suspects Monel when Alex tells her that the heat signatures from the attack match heat ray vision. Alex then crosses paths with Detective Maggie Sawyer, and they take an instant dislike towards each other. The team brings Madam President back to the DEO to protect her, and Kara heads to LuthorCorp after being sent on an assignment by Snapper. At LuthorCorp, Lena shows Kara a device which can detect superhumans and aliens, then asks Kara to test it out. She manages to manipulate the device with her heat ray vision to pass the test. Alex continues to search for Monel and gets a lead from Wynn. She finds Maggie Sawyer at the scene, telling her that they just missed him. Monel attacks a warehouse worker, asking for a way to get back home. Kara scolds Alex for trying to find Monel on her own before she heads out to give Snapper her report on Lena. Alex meets with Maggie, and they head to a bar filled with aliens. Maggie reveals that she relates to them, and they can get some answers. One alien gives them a lead on Monel, and they take their information to Wynn, who figures out that Monel beamed a signal to a planet called Daxam. Kara finds him, and they engage in battle. She eventually overpowers him and takes him back to the DEO. The team tries to figure out why Monel tried to kill the president, and Kara goes to question him. Monel tells Kara that he was not behind the attack, and that he just wanted to go home. Back at LuthorCorp, Kara talks to Lena again, and apologizes for the story Snapper made her write. The team watch over the president at a pep rally when an alien with pyrokinesis attack. She abducts Maggie and then escapes. Alex goes back to the bar where she and Maggie had gone to earlier to question the same alien. Another alien, later revealed to be Miss Martian, tells her where the rogue alien went. Kara confronts the alien at an abandoned warehouse and they fight. The trio team up and take her down. An enraged Snapper tries to lash out at Jimmy for rewriting his story, but Jimmy tells Snapper to respect him to stay out of his lane. At the DEO, Maggie thanks Alex for saving her before she leaves. Kara gives Mon-El a chance and apologizes for judging him without getting to know his story. She then tells him that his home Daxam is gone, just like Krypton. Madame President thanks the team before she leaves, and when she walks away, she is revealed to be some sort of alien. John goes to an alien bar and meets the bartender who transforms into a Martian named McGann Moores. What will Mon-El do now that he knows the truth about his homeworld? What is Madame President? What's going to happen between Alex and Maggie Sawyer? What will happen next between John Jones and McGann Moores? And what is going to happen that takes Kara to that underground alien fight club? Find out in the next episode of Supergirl. A flashback shows Mon-El being saved by the King of Daxam as the planet is about to be destroyed. In the present day, the team continue to test the limits of his powers and advise him to stay at the DEO until they know it's safe for him to be out in public. Aliens begin to turn up dead across the city, so Maggie enlists Alex's help. They try questioning one, but they are attacked by armed men who capture him. After an unsuccessful attempt at trying to get to know McGann better, he tells Kara and Alex about her. Mon-El stumbles upon Kara talking to her mother Allura and asks for her to accompany him to explore the city. Maggie and Alex follow a lead the former had gotten, which brings them to an underground alien fight club. The club is run by a woman named Veronica Sinclair, aka Roulette, and they find McGann there as a fighter. Kara shows up and interrupts the fight, but is confronted by a large alien named Draga. She's easily defeated, but Alex saves her. Kara and Alex tell John that they saw McGann there, so he decides to talk to her. Snapper gives Kara a hard time while she tries to get her story on the underground alien fight club published. Mon-El is able to convince Wynn to let him out of the DEO, and the two go out on the town. Mon-El nearly exposes his powers, but Wynn is able to whisk him away. After John confronts McGann about her involvement with the fight club, she tells him about Roulette. Kara tries to stop Roulette from continuing the fight club, but is somehow convinced that she gives aliens a place where they can be themselves. The team finds out that Wynn took Mon-El out and scolds him for it. Kara then talks to Mon-El. The two get to know each other better. John then tries to talk to McGann again to apologize, but is attacked by Roulette's men. The team realizes that they have been taken, so Kara goes to find them. She talks to Lena Luthor, who gives her the address to a new location for the fight club. John and McGann are pitted against each other, but he refuses to fight her. She pummels him, and just when she's about to deliver the final blow, he is able to get through to her. Roulette releases Draga on them, but Kara arrives in time to stop him. She's able to convince the aliens that Roulette and Cadmus are the real enemies, effectively shutting down the club. Roulette is taken into custody by Maggie, but is able to be released immediately. Kara brings Snapper her story and tells him her source for the article is Supergirl. She then talks to Mon-El and tells him that she had the DEO release him into her custody so that she can take him under her wing. John talks to him again and the two make amends, but after he leaves, she transforms into her true form as a white Martian. Will Jimmy be jealous that Kara and the team are getting so close to Mon-El? Will Wynn ever make Mon-El an outfit? And will he go by the name of Valor? Is Guardian making his appearance in the next episode? When are Barry and Cisco gonna show up to bring her over to their Earth? Find out on the next episode of Supergirl! Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Kara propels Mon-El for his first day at Catco, which proves to be harder than she thought. While walking around the city, she and James are attacked by armed robbers who have obtained alien tech that can harm her. Jimmy helps Kara fight back, but the robbers overwhelm them and escape. Back at the DEO, Wynn figures out that they're using Andranian weapons, which he works on a way to trace. Cadmus sends out another video message. The team realizes that they are supplying the criminals. Back at Catco, Kara struggles to get Mon-El to blend in when Lena arrives and invites her to a party. After, Kara gets a call from Alex and Wynn telling her that there's another attack in the city. When she arrives, she finds the criminals from earlier with even more alien weapons. She is forced to let them go to save a man when they launch him and his police cruiser into the sky. The doctor from Cadmus meets with the criminals and gives them new tech to fight Supergirl. After talking with Wynn, Alex tries to lift Maggie's spirits up after she had broken up with her girlfriend. After an awkward conversation regarding Alex's sexuality, she promises to update Maggie on the situation with Cadmus. Later, Kara catches Mon-El fooling around with Eve, then threatens to stop being his mentor if he doesn't take what he's doing seriously. Jimmy visits Wynn at the DEO to get intel where the robbers will strike next. He arrives at their next location and is nearly successful at stopping them. They use a new tech to bring down a building, so Jimmy rushes to save the people inside. Wynn confronts Jimmy and tells him that he caught him on CCTV footage trying to stop the gang members, and scolds him. Jimmy tries to ask Wynn to help him with his vigilantism, but the latter declines. At her apartment, Kara tries to talk to Alice about her frustrations with Mon-El. Alex tells her that she's trying to control everything in his life and that she should give him space. Before Alex can tell Kara about her situation, Lena arrives and asks to meet Supergirl. Supergirl meets with Lena and is convinced to attend her fundraiser. The doctor tasks the gang members to kill Lena there. At the fundraiser, Wynn uses his particle tracker to make sure that they know when the gang members are around. Supergirl appears and promises to watch over the party. Kara apologizes to Mon-El when he arrives, and while they're dancing, the gang members attack. Wynn finds out that Lena used the party as a trap to lure them out. He helps her configure a piece of equipment to disable the gang's weapons. aliens, while Kara and Manel tried to hold them off. The tech works, and the men are arrested. While Maggie is transporting them, they are telepathically contacted by the doctor who kills them. Wynn decides to help Jimmy fight crime after having a realization that they were meant to be heroes in their own right. At the DEO, Kara talks to Manel and tells him that she will let him lead his own life. Later, Alex meets with Maggie at a bar and confesses that she was right about her. Later at L-Corp, Supergirl meets with Lena and thanks her for her help. The doctor from Cadmus appears, and she is revealed to be Lena's mother. Will Manel suit up and help Kara out in the field? Will Wynn and Jimmy be successful in his path to become Guardian? Where's Jean and McGann? What will happen between Alex and Maggie? Is Dean Cain Cyborg Superman? Is that Parasite we see in the previews? Find out in the next episode of Supergirl. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. At the Thorold Arctic Research Station in Norway, Dr. Rudy Jones inspects the remains of a frozen wolf. His assistant tells him that it has been trapped in the ice for 5,000 years, but still has a normal body temperature. While trying to dissect it, he is attacked by a parasite inside the wolf. Kara, Manel, and Jean take a breather at the alien bar McGann works at. Alex meets Maggie there and asks her advice on how to come out to her family. They go back to the DEO, where Wynn shows them a video of the research station scientists asking for help. With Kara too drunk to accompany John, Alex goes instead and they find Dr. Jones. They bring him back to the DEO and he agrees to help them in any way he can. As he walks away, the parasite leaves his mouth and enters his ear. The next day, Kara trains Manel and tells him that she hopes that he'll become a superhero like her one day. Alex finally comes out to Kara and tells her about her developing feelings for Maggie. Rudy returns to National City University, where he examines his blood. Wynn shows John a video from the research station, which shows Rudy absorbing his co-worker's life force. Kara and Alex confront him, but he absorbs her power, nearly killing her. Back at the DEO, Jimmy tries to convince the team that he wants to help, but they suggest that they have everything under control. Wynn and Jimmy have a falling out when the other demands to use his suit, despite it still being a prototype. Wynn refuses to let him go through with it because he may die. Kara stays at her apartment when Alex drops by. Kara tells Alex that she accepts her no matter who she is. Kara then finds Manel beating up an alien and finds out that he has muscle for hire. They have a falling out and Kara leaves disappointed. Back at the DEO, Wynn finds out Rudy's next intended target and they leave to save him. She and John nearly overpower him, but he absorbs both their powers. They are both left so emaciated and are brought back to the DEO to heal. Jimmy finally convinces Wynn to let him suit up. Alex meets with McGann and asks for her help with John. She sees Manel there and scolds him for being a coward. She tells him to get up and try to be the hero Kara thought he could be. They arrive at the medbay and Alex tries to convince McGann to give John a blood transfusion. Manel confronts Rudy and finds himself teaming up with Jimmy as the Guardian. They hold him off long enough for Kara to arrive. She uses plutonium-239 to overload him with power. Kara thanks both Manel and Guardian, but she cannot see who he is due to the armor being made of lead. Jimmy and Wynn celebrate their victory and vow to continue their hero work. At the DEO, John awakens and then thanks McGann for saving him. At the alien bar, Alex finally confesses her feelings for Maggie and kisses her. Maggie tells her that they should just be friends, leaving Alex heartbroken. Kara comforts her sister after finding out. While trying to help a stranger, Manel is attacked and taken by Cadmus. Why is Jean attacking Kara in the preview for next episode? Will we finally see Jeremiah Danvers as Cyborg Superman? What will happen to Alex now that everything's out in the open? Why is Guardian wanted by the National City Police? Will Wynn suit up anytime soon? Will Manel become the hero Kara thinks him to be? Find out on the next episode of Supergirl. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. In a flash forward, John fights Kara at an unknown location. In the present, the team hangs out at an alien bar and talk about the Guardian. Kara believes that he shouldn't be trusted just yet, and Jimmy and Wynn try to defend his actions. Maggie talks to Alex and they both agree to stay friends. Alex asks Kara where Manel is and she brushes it off by saying that he's probably out with another woman. Back at the Cadmus base, Manel escapes from his captivity, but is forced to surrender when Lillian threatens to kill John, who has also been taken. John is then seen speaking to him again when he begins to feel like something has changed between them. Jimmy continues his vigilante work with Wynn and stops a robber who he leaves to be arrested. An unknown gunman appears and shoots the criminal dead. Jimmy shows up at Catco the next day and everyone seems to think that Guardian killed the man. Snapper uses the opportunity to expose Guardian while Wynn talks to Jimmy about the danger they're both in. Jimmy tells Wynn that he has a plan to keep their operation running. He believes that the other vigilante will be at the docks trying to kill the criminals, bringing in a large shipment of something. At the DEO, John tells Kara that he keeps seeing his wife and daughters. She tells him that he should not feel guilty when he is with McGann. Later at the docks, Jimmy confronts the other vigilante and they fight. While Kara's on her way to confront the Guardian, she is contacted by Lillian telling her that she has Manel. She arrives at the Cadmus base and finds a real Hank Henshaw, who has been augmented by them. They fight and Hank overpowers Kara. He then refers to himself as Cyborg Superman. Back at the DEO, Alex is able to get Wynn to confess that Jimmy is the Guardian. He makes her promise not to tell anyone, even Kara, and to have Maggie stop looking into them. She talks to Maggie and has a falling out with her. At the DEO, John hallucinates one of the agents as a white Martian and nearly kills him. He then asks Alex to run some tests on him. Back at the Cadmus base, Kara awakens in a cell next to Manel. He realizes that he was tricked into thinking Hank was John. Lillian appears and shoots Manel after figuring out that lead is his weakness. She threatens to kill Manel if Kara does not agree to let her absorb her energy. Kara agrees and puts on the helmet, which absorbs all her power when she solar flares. She's left powerless and is then dragged away by Lillian's men. They bring her to another room and strap her to a table, preparing to take her blood. Kara's then brought back to her cell. She tells Manel that in the case that she doesn't make it out, to tell everyone that she went down fighting. They're then freed by a hooded man who reveals himself to be Jeremiah. As they're about to make their escape, Manel collapses. Jeremiah successfully stops the lead poisoning from spreading. Kara refuses to leave without him, but he tells her that he will be fine, demanding them to go. Back at Catco, Wynn tells Jimmy has identified the vigilante as a man named Philip Arnowski, and they rush to get to his next target. After Alex conducts a test, John realizes that McGann is a white Martian. He confronts her and tells her to reveal her true self. John fights McGann, and just as he is about to finish her off, she apologizes, so he spares her. Later, Jimmy finds Philip and fights him. He stops Philip just as Alex and Maggie arrive. Back at the DEO, Kara tells Alex about Jeremiah, so they head to the Cadmus base, but find nothing there. John has McGann locked up at the DEO, and even though she apologizes for everything, he remains angry. She tells him that because of the blood she had given him, he is slowly turning into a white Martian. The team get together at Kara's apartment, where Manel reveals his romantic interest for Kara to Win and Jimmy. Maggie shows up and talks to Alex, asking for another chance to start over. Kara tells Alex that they will find Jeremiah, but is hopeful because he has remained the same person. Hank goes to the Fortress of Solitude and uses Kara's blood to access the main console. He asks for information on a project called Medusa. What will happen to John now that McGann has told him that he may become a white Martian? What is Project Medusa, and why is it at Superman's Fortress of Solitude? What do Cadmus plan for the world? How will Kara react when she finds out what Jimmy and Win are doing? What will happen between Manel and Kara, and Alex and Maggie next week when they cut turkey with their mother Eliza? And will they tell her about Jeremiah? Are you ready for the 4-way crossover between Supergirl, Flash, Arrow, and Legends? Find out on the next episode of Supergirl. Dun, 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 dun. Everyone gets together at Kara's apartment to celebrate Thanksgiving. Jimmy and Win want to tell Kara about the Guardian, but Alex doesn't want them to as she plans to come out to her mother. Eliza tells Kara that Manel is interested in her, which is why he's trying to get to know her. While they're all trying to say what they're thankful for, a breach opens up in the middle of the table. The next day at the DEO, Win jokes that someone with extra-dimensional powers tried to reach out to them. They then try to figure out why Lillian took her blood, so Kara proposes to get some answers from Lena. She talks to her, but is unable to get any information. Lena meets with her mother, Lillian, and warns her about Kara knowing something about her. Later, at the alien bar, Manel runs into Hank Henshaw, who he fights. During their battle, a device Hank had planted in the bar goes off, killing many of the aliens. The team then quarantine Manel to make sure that he does not spread whatever he was exposed to. John, Kara, and Alex agree to bring in Liza to help, but only Alex leaves the base. While waiting for Alex to return with Eliza, Kara asks Manel if he has feelings for her when he begins to succumb to the effects of the toxin. Eliza tells him that the virus originated from Krypton, and Kara realizes that Cadmus used her blood to gain access to the Fortress of Solitude. She flies there and is attacked by Kellex. She's forced to destroy him, and then proceeds to investigate what Hank came for. She finds out about Project Medusa from a hologram of her father. He tells her that he had created it, along with other scientists, as a safeguard for their planet. She goes back to the DEO and explains the situation to everyone. She gives Eliza all the information to help find an antidote and to save Manel. Eliza tells Alex that she knows that she's hiding something from her, and tells her that she knows that she is gay, and accepts her no matter what. Kara opens up to John about the fact that her parents weren't who they seem. He tries to remind her that they tried to save their planet, and there was nothing wrong with that. He then begins to transform into a white Martian and tells her that it was because of McGann. She tells him that they will get to working on a cure, but he says that he wants to focus on stopping Hank and Cadmus first. They realize that Hank will strike at L-Corp next, and Kara rushes to stop him. Lena stumbles upon them fighting, and Kara saves her when Hank tries to attack her. Another breach opens up and distracts Hank, giving Kara an opportunity to fight back. He escapes when a bullet ricochets and hits Maggie. The team try to convince Kara that Lena might be hiding something, so she goes to talk to her. She asks for her help in finding Lillian, and tells her that her mother is the leader of Cadmus, but Lena refuses to believe. She then tells Supergirl to go. Back at the DEO, while tending to Maggie, Alex thanks her for helping her find her true self. Kara then visits Manel, and he reveals that Eliza thinks that he is dying. She apologizes to him because she believes that it is all her fault. He kisses her and passes out. Lena meets with Lillian and tells her she knows about Cadmus. She then offers to help her with her cause. The team figure out that Cadmus is planning to release a virus at a port of National City. Kara refuses to let John come along because he might die, but he convinces her otherwise. At the port, Lillian has Lena release Medusa. Kara goes to stop the missile and John fights Hank. John fully transforms into a white Martian and nearly overpowers him. Kara arrives after Lillian detonates the missile and defeats Hank herself. It turns out that Lena switched out the isotope, saving all the aliens. Lillian is taken in by the police, but Hank gets away. Somewhere in space, an alien race are revealed to be looking for Manel. Back at the DEO, Manel and John are cured by Eliza, who they thank. Kara tries to talk to him about what happened between them, but he cannot recall. Maggie visits Alex at her apartment and they kiss. The next day at Kara's apartment, Cisco and Barry appear through the breach, surprising Kara. Barry then asks for her help in stopping the Dominators. All aboard the hype train to day one of the DC TV crossover between The Flash, Supergirl, Arrow, and Legends. Will Hank Henshaw come back? Will we ever find out what happened to Jeremiah Danvers? Will John ever forgive McGann? Will Kara and Manel make things official? Was that the Reach or some other alien race looking for Manel? Find out on the next episode of Supergirl. Dun, 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 dun.